Sam, we're going to a Manchester United supporter, Shaheen.
I think I deserve to be on this episode of Man on the Street because to be able to sit next to someone of Sam Allardyce's reputation and the teams that he's managed and the experience that he has, as intimidating as he is, I still think would be an amazing opportunity to be able to ask him questions and talk football with him. As far as my question goes to Sam, I want to know that although Man United is having a really fun time right now in the Premier League, you know, we've won 4 games, drawn 1, and life is really good as a Man United fan. What do you think Man United's biggest weakness is till this day?
I don't want to preempt his questions, but it's basically United's fantastic start and are they good enough probably to win the league? And it's quite an interesting topic at the moment. I think just sustaining what they've got, and I know you watch Man United most of the season, certainly on Astro. He did it last weekend.
Yes.
So it'll be an interesting few minutes.
And I managed to watch live with Sir Alex Manchester United versus Leicester.
Yeah.
And I saw them break down a very stubborn Leicester rearguard, which looked, like I said before, a little bit like the old Manchester United. So there's lots more goals in the team this year, so it'll be very interesting to see what he has.
Nothing can cool me down. Got my stilettos on fleek. Nothing can cool me down. See the shadows dancing on me.
How are you? Good. Nice to see you. Big Sam is waiting for you.
How are you?
Good.
Okay?
Oh, I've been intimidated, but good.
I'm hot to the fire. Water can cool me down. Water can cool me down.
Yeah, that's good.
Shaheen?
Yes, sir.
A Man United supporter, yes?
Loving life.
Pardon?
Loving life.
Oh yeah?
Yes.
Oh, at the moment. Don't speak too soon. Don't speak too soon. Thanks for inviting us, Taylor's College.
My pleasure.
Okay, and we have a special guest, obviously,
So excited.
Big Sam.
Nice to see you.
Nice to meet you.
Now, you have a question, I believe.
Yes.
Not for me.
For the both of you, actually.
Not
Okay.
Sam.
Yeah.
Hit
It's
Sam.
all him,
If
or
it's
it's
Man
all him?
United
Yeah.
question, Sam will deal with it.
Alright,
Yes.
cool. So, obviously, Man U's doing so well right now.
They are, yes.
I know it's only the first 5 weeks, but my question is, what weaknesses can you see in this Man United squad?
Wow, that's a good question. I think that in all honesty, I haven't seen many weaknesses.
True.
Up to now.
That's why I brought the question.
I haven't
up.
seen that. I think that as always, Jose will assess his team, as we all need to assess the team, and they need to work out the strengths and the weaknesses. And I think that last season was his learning curve managing.
He's
Manchester
a
United.
second season man.
His second season now he's gone into the market, bought some players that will cover the weaknesses they had last year, particularly the pace in the team. Lukaku is pace behind and he's actually scoring goals, so that's not an improvement from Ibrahimovic, but it's a different type of player. He sorted the defensive side out now as well.
Not fully though. But
no, perhaps not. But yeah, but he's still got a number of players, and he's got strength and depth of squad now that he's been looking for. So I can see that that they're going to be fighting against probably Man City, Chelsea more than anybody else now. But Jose has won the league at this level before with Chelsea twice. He's won the league in Spain, he's won the league in Italy.
He's done it
he
all.
knows how to do it. He knows how to, at certain points in the season, he'll know how to change
exactly
his
what
team
to do, what to change,
and pick the right team to, whether that will be good enough in the end to beat a Manchester City or a Chelsea, time will tell. Injuries will play a problem, fatigue, but certainly on the right track.
I believe that they're probably the most powerful squad of strength and fitness levels. They're powerful, they're strong in lots of areas, and Pogba being out
doesn't seem to
it doesn't because I mean, love or hate Fellaini, he's still a good replacement.
And if
And if they can't get Herrera into that team, and he was arguably United's best player last year.
season, one of the best. Yeah.
So if he's still on the bench when Pope was injured and Fellaini comes in, then you look at the strength and depth. Martial comes on, and all of a sudden he's scoring goals.
Yeah.
You know, and you've got Zlatan Ibrahimovic to come back, but whether that is good or bad, because Zlatan can't play other than a striker. He's not a wide player.
Yeah.
So whether that then stifles Lukaku, I think obviously with the competitions, I don't think he'll play in the big games. I think he'll play in maybe the cup competitions, because he'll rotate his squad, and I think that's where United will make good use of their strong and powerful squad in the competitions that they've got. So
got the best
you think they're going to win?
I think they got the best. If, you know, certainly he's top 2, if not the best goalie in the Premier League. Yeah. He made some critical saves at certain points on the game last night, and people sometimes rarely understand how important that is. It gave the Manchester United the base to go on to win 4-0 by him being in the right place at the right time.
That's as good as a goal.
It's as good as a goal.
Unsung hero.
Oh yeah, well, he's getting the praise he deserves, certainly last season and this season. But you know, Manchester United were tinkering on the brink of, do they let him go to Real Madrid? And it's probably a good thing that Manchester United didn't let him go.
Yeah, thankfully.
Yeah, well, that's the okay. If you make a decision to let players go, you have to have replacement. And Sam and I spoke in the car. Everton, for me, made a big decision letting Lukaku go. Without no replacement.
Without no replacement.
Without no goal scorer.
And it hasn't been good for them.
And if you do that, it's at your peril. It's at your peril. But United have done extremely well in the transfer market. I think they got the business done early. They didn't scramble late on.
True.
I think Matic is probably the best signing.
Definitely.
I mean, regardless of Lukaku.
Yes, I'd agree with that.
Holds down the midfield. Like.
Oh, he makes it happen. He makes things so easy. It looks so easy to him. So I believe they're the team with City to beat this year without a shadow of a doubt. I'm sad to say that, I've got to say.
Being a Liverpool
fan. I have a die-hard Liverpool fan over there. He's waiting to meet.
But it can all go pear-shaped quickly, so don't be too cock-a-hoop, okay?
No, about the topic of whether or not Man U are title contenders or not, people who ask me that, I say no, not yet.
Why?
Because not yet. Because if you look at the teams that they've played,
well,
so far,
I'll go the opposite. They are definitely. They are now the title contenders right now.
Contenders definitely, but.
So you're saying because they've had some easier games.
Exactly.
And you want to wait until you see them play against the big boys
team,
to see whether.
Boys.
Well, do you know how you win the Premier League?
Beating the lower teams.
You beat all the lower teams home and away.
Yeah, true.
You don't have to be the best team against the top 6 to win the Premier League. What you have to do is be the best team against the bottom 10.
Great example.
Because there's more teams at the
Yeah.
Well, great example, Liverpool. They have a great record against the top clubs, and have a very poor record against the lower league, the lower side clubs. So, yeah, I think if you can match the teams in and around you, like 3rd and 4th, then you're gonna be there or thereabouts. Beating the teams who are at the bottom is crucial.
Right.
Crucial. But certainly United have the squad.
Depth
the depth and
especially with the number of games that they're going to be playing this season.
But he's got the squad to do it, as Stephen said, the strength and depth of the squad in all areas now, that he does have almost 2 international teams that can play in Europe, play in the Cup, and also play in the Premier League. So it was part of Sir Alex's key success, that his rotation, as one of the first managers in the Premier League ever to use the word rotation, and I will rotate my players through the season, which heaped a huge amount of criticism on Sir Alex. And then all of a sudden you find 5 years later everybody's doing it. Exactly. So I think he's got the squad together to rotate and keep players fresh.
If I was ultra critical, and then going back to your question, have United got a weak link and what's the problem, or if there's a problem, I think it could be the centre halves. Bailly's going to be a good player. But I think it's very rash. He can make rash decisions, and there's accidents waiting to happen with Bailly. Phil Jones for me is an okay player.
He's an okay player. I wasn't fully impressed with him against Stoke.
And I think the replacement in Smalling is an okay player. So I don't think they're blessed in in world-class replacements.
By the way, Steve,
Pardon?
they're not bad compared to Liverpool.
No, they're not bad. Yeah.
Sorry about that, mate.
No, it's quite correct. But I'm being ultra critical for United,
Yes.
and I just think Phil Jones is not that top level.
That's true. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, but certainly Liverpool could do with a bad defence like United.
Yeah. No, because when I ask the question, I always have a problem in mind as well. So for me, the biggest weak point of Man United would be their back four. Aside from Valencia and Bailly, I think the left centre back and the left back need to be nailed on.
But they know what they're doing. They don't try and be footballing centre half, especially Jones. He knows his capabilities, and he goes out and he does what he's good at. He doesn't pretend he's a good player. He doesn't pretend he wants to play football. He just defends and gives it to people who know what they're doing. He does his job, and if everyone does the job, then they're going to win games. They really are. So it's like every manager. If you do your job, I'm not expecting you to go and beat 3 and 4 players. Don't need you to do that. I need you to just put your head in on the ball, put your foot through it.
Do what's necessary.
Do what you need to do to keep clean sheets, and that's what United are doing really, really well at the time.
But I'm waiting to see them play against the big boys.
So am I, especially Liverpool.
Because
Well,
I think
he's also very good tactically. I mean, so he will set a game plan out to do
well, he does.
He needs to do.
Remember a year or so ago, he went to Anfield and put 6 or 7 at the back.
Yeah.
You know, and that was just purely because he could.
Yeah, I'll get a result.
I'll get results, and then you can say what you like. Yeah. So, Liverpool for the championship, yeah.
I have to disagree with that though.
I know you do.
I mean, being a United fan, I have to stay loyal to my team. And
yes, you do.
Liverpool, in my opinion, lack consistency.
It's a good opinion.
It's
a sensible opinion.
Yeah. And
so do you stay up late to watch them live?
I do. Sometimes I don't sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a bit like me.
Yeah, because I see you on the show a lot. And
So if you see me, then I'm awake as well.
Yeah. And when I talk to my dad, and I tell him like, these guys, do they ever sleep? Like,
you better tell the producers all this.
They're killing you out there.
Yeah, we need more money. Yeah.
Yeah.
On that note, we'll finish.
Yeah.
Thanks, Shane.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Good luck.
Am I the last fan of the day? Or?
No.
No, there's another 12 after you.
Yeah.
Douglas!
Ja, ik vind het wel.
Spie-i-i-be, mak maar vol hand.
That used to be me.